Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. In previous video, I have already shown you how to design this dashboard and how to design this welcome user control and also shown you how to connect the login page with the dashboard. So if you have not watched my previous video, then just go to description there. I put the link to my previous video, or you can simply do one thing, just click on the suggestion on the right side of the screen. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to design for this add item. Okay, so in previous video I've already explained you why I'm not designing this place order for now. I'm going to design this first, and after that I'm going to design for this one. Okay, so let's start with that. Let me close this. This we are working. So first thing what we have to do is we have to actually add one user control. For that, go to Solution Explorer, right click on the folder that we have already created, that is all user control. Right click on this, add, select new item, select user control and give the name whatever you want. I'm going to name this one UC underscore add items and hit enter. Now new user control is added. After this, what we have to do is we have to actually set the size for this one. So let me copy the size of this one from our complete project. So I'm going to move back over here, right click on this, go to properties. Let me copy the size of this one, 781, 514. So move back over here, right click, go to properties and set the size, hit enter. Let me maximize this a little bit and straight this to. And what next we have to do is we have to actually change the back color for this one. Change this one to white. Select this, click on this, custom and white. After this, what we have to do is we have to add one label. Just drag and drop it. After this, I'm going to change the text for this one to new item, or let me change this one to add new item. After this, we need few more labels, so let me copy and paste. We need 3 labels, 2 text boxes and 1 combo box, and we need 1 button. So button, I'm going to use this Guna 2 button. Just drag and drop it over here. And we need text boxes and combo box. So first I need a combo box, so I'm going to use this Guna 2 combo box. Just drag and drop it. And after this, I need a text box. I'm going to use this Guna 2. So copy and paste it to replicate. First, I'm going to set the text for these all labels. So click on the first one and change this one to category. Second one to item name. Third one to price. After this, what we have to do is we have to set these labels font. So select all these by pressing the Ctrl key, and let me copy the font from the complete project. Just click on this. Font is, let me select, click on this. Comic Sans MS regular and size is 14. So move back over here, just search for font by selecting all, and you have to search for Comic Sans and size is 14. Hit OK. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually increase the size of this one so that it look different little bit. 16. Okay. After this, what we have to do is we have to place these all on the proper position, and at the same time we have to adjust the font size as well. So let me increase the size of these all. Select all these. Select for font, search for font, click on this. Yeah, 14 actually. Okay, so size has been increased. I have pressed the Ctrl Z and that's reverted the stuff. So I'm going to move back this one over here, and you can see this one is quite large. So I'm going to minimize this and select one, and after that we have to increase the font of this to 11 or 12 and select this one. Change the font one by one, 12. Change, select this one and click this one too. 12. Yeah, This one is looking nice now. And next thing what we have to do is we have to copy the size of this one, and we have to set for this one too. Hit enter. Yeah, this one is looking better. After this, what we have to do is we have to change the fog color for these all. So select all by pressing the superior key and search for fog color. So here we have, just click on this and select the black and save this. It means that whenever we write something inside these, the color will be now in the black. Okay, so after this what we have to do is we have to set this button. So right click, go to properties, and after this change the text to add item. After this what we have to do is we have to set the color. So change this one to 0, 118, 225. Hit enter. Change the border radius. So search for that border radius to 26, or you can set 21. Yeah, this one is looking better. And we have to increase the font of this one. To search for font, click on this. Bold 12. Yeah, this one is looking better. After this what we have to do is we have to actually, okay, let me make these all a little bit much more larger so that these look nice. And after this what we have to do is we have to remove the border from the three sides. I want this underline. Okay, in the complete project you can see this, we have only underlines, not the three sides. Okay, so how to do that? For that you have to just select all these and you have to search for one property, that is style. Change this one to default to material, and when you do that you can find the three side is already removed. After this what we have to do is we have to add the items into these combo box, this combo box. Just click on this, click on this, and move back over here, and let me copy the items from here. Move back over here. You can add other items. I've added cake, soft drinks, South Indian thali. You can add Chinese and whatever you want. Okay, or Indian, and hit OK. And now the items are added into this combo box. After this what we have to do is we have to actually change the design name of all these combo boxes and buttons as well. So click on this and change the design name. So txt category, hit enter. Change this one to txt item name, this one to txt price, and this one to txt button. Sorry, ptn add item. And we still left with one stuff, that is nothing but a rectangular shaper. Just drag and drop it over here, click on this, and what we have to do is we have to set the color for this one. So fill color, change this one to, not this one actually, yeah. Search for border color, just click on this, click custom and select this one. Now after this change the border radius to 3 and change this border width, change this border width to 3 and change this radius to, okay, let me explain you what this radius is. So let me place this one on the proper position like this. Yeah, this one is better. Maximize like this one. So when you set the border radius, it will make this edge curve in place of sharp. So I'm going to change this one to 26 and here you see this. Now you can see the difference. Yeah, this one is looking better. After this, what we have to do is we have to first create a database to store these all data. For that, I'm going to open the database. For database, I'm using Microsoft SQL Server Management Studio 2012. So first thing you have to write this create database restro. I have named the database restro. You can name this cafe whatever you want, but I'm going to name this restro. Okay, so you have to take special care if you change the name, because I'm going to put all this project by name restro. Okay, so First you have to execute this. Just pause the video, write this into your database and execute this. After execution you have to click on this refresh, and the refresh will take few seconds, and after this what you have to do is, okay, so let me just complete the refresh first. Refresh is completed. After this you have to select Restro from here. By default this one is, let me show you which is selected, master. By default master is selected. You have to select search for Restro and select that, and after that you have to execute this query. Create table items. Items is a table name, and IID is the column name for the primary key in this table, and this IID is of int type identity 1,1. It means that whenever you insert a new row, this primary key is automatically incremented by 1, and this is a primary key, that's why we have mentioned it over here. Next column is name. It's a varchar type and size is 250, and it's a not null. We have used this constraint. You can't leave this blank. Category varchar 250 not null. Price begin not null. Okay, so you have to just execute this one, and you will find a table like this. After executing this, execute this, and if you find these column name, empty column name, then that is working fine, man. So let's start with that. Let me move back to the coding part. Okay, so here we have, so first thing after this what we have to do is we have to actually create one class. So for that just go to Solution Explorer, right click on this, click on add, and click on class, and I'm going to name this class function and click on add or enter. So now here you can see this, now we have added one class with the name function. After this what we have to do is we have to actually create few methods inside this. So first I'm going to create a method to get a connection with the database. So I'm going to name this one. I'm going to create this method protected so that this can be used inside this class only. I'm going to name this one SQL connection. Why I have written this SQL connection? Because this method is going to return a SQL connection object. Just click on this, and this one is showing error because I haven't imported this library that is using system.data.SQL line. Now I'm going to click on this, and here you can see this one is automatically added. Now the error has been resolved. After this we have to write the method name, so I'm going to name this method get connection. Okay. Inside this method what we have to do is we have to create a SQL connection object first. This one is showing error because we have written that return type is SQL connection. Okay, return type is SQL connection, but we haven't returned anything yet. Okay, so this error will automatically resolve. Let me just follow the code what I'm writing. The SQL connection con is equal to new SQL connection. Now we have created object of the SQL connection type. After this we are going to pass the connection string, and in this we have to mention data source is equal to, and you have to copy the data source from here. Just click on this, copy this, cancel, move back over here and paste it, and you have to add one more / over here, otherwise it will show an error. So data source is this, and after this you have to mention database name. So database, and my database name is nothing but Restro, RESTRO, so I'm going to mention that. And after this you have to write integrated security is equal to true, and make sure your T is capital. Yeah, sorry, I have written this extra R over here. Make sure you write everything, you check everything whatever you write. Database, every single spelling mistake counts an error. Okay, And after this, now our connection is ready, so I'm going to return this connection. So return what? I'm going to return this connection object, COM. Now here you can see this, our error has been resolved. Now our connection is ready. After this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to write two methods. First, to actually insert the data into the database. Actually, first method is going to actually fetch, insert, update, and delete. All these type of query will going to be fired on the database. And second method, I'm going to write to actually fetch the data from the database. So first, I'm going to write the method to fetch the data. So public, and this method is going to return a data set object with the fill data inside this one. So data set okay, so we have to write like this, data set. Okay, this is not visible because we have not imported the library whatever you want. Just click on this and you have to mention using system.data. Just click on this and this will be added over here, and here you can see this. Now we can use this. This method is going to return a data set object filled with the data inside that after firing the query. So I'm going to name this method get data, and inside this is going to accept one argument of a string type, and I'm going to name this one query. After this, what we have to do is we have to make SQL connection. So I have to write SQL connection and is equal to, we don't have to make any SQL connection, we have to just create an object of that. So from where we get the object, we are going to, when we call this method is going to return a SQL connection object. So I'm going to call that method. So get connection, and this will return an object. Yeah, this will work fine. And after this, what we have to do is we have to write SQL command cmd is equal to new SQL command. After this, we have to write cmd.connection and we have to pass the connection, that is con. And after this, we have to write the command text, that is which query you want to execute. So either you can write a query like this is hard coded, like select star from some table, like this query. Okay, so I'm not going to hard code this, I'm going to make this one non-static. So I'm going to pass this query. So whenever we call this method, one argument query is going to be passed, and I'm going to execute this over here. After this command text, what we have to do is we have to write SQL data adapter to store some data that is going to be stored with the SQL data adapter and data set. So DA is equal to new SQL data adapter, and inside this we have to pass the command object. And finally, we have to create an object of data set. DS is equal to new data set. And after this, we have to fill the da.fill, and what we have to fill is DS data set. Now everything is ready. Now what we have to do is just return this data set object. DS. Now whenever we call this method after passing a query, this is going to return a dataset object after firing that query into the database. Okay, and we can show that or use that data anywhere. So first method is ready to actually fetch the data. In this video, I'm not going to use this to fetch the data. The next video or further video, I'm going to use this one. After this, I'm going to write one more method to actually insert the data. So this method is not going to return anything because we have to just insert that. Okay, so public void, and we have to write set data. I'm going to name this method string query. And after this, we have to write some of the similar stuff. So first thing I need connection. So I'm going to get that connection for the get connection method. After this, SQL command cmd is equal to new SQL command. cmd.connection is equal to connection con. We have to pass the connection object. And after this, we have to just open the connection. So con.open. After this, we have to pass the text, that is query. Command text is equal to query, and after this we have to just execute the query. Cap dot execute no query, and finally con dot close. We have to close the connection. And after the execution of all this stuff, I need a message that the task is done. So for that, we have to write message box. So this one is not visible. Let me show you why. Because we haven't used this method. Sorry, library, Windows form. When you click on this, yeah, this one is. Now we can use this. Dot show. And after this, I'm going to, what message I'm going to show to the user is data processed successfully. Okay, I'm going to show this message, and this message box name is success, and this message box may have some button, so I'm going to give one button. Message box icon needs to be information. Now this method is done. Okay, so we need these three methods. I'm going to use these two. We don't need these because we have already created a connection for the one time, and we have to just do that. I'm going to use those two methods. Now what we have to do is we have to just move to this one, and as you can, I have already told you that I have changed the design name of all this stuff. So next thing what I have to do is I have to connect this with the database, and we have to connect this one with the dashboard too. So first I'm going to connect this with the dashboard, and after that I'm going to code for this add item button. So for that I'm going to use Luna2 ellipse, just drag and drop it, click on this, change this one to 30, hit enter, target control, change this one to QC add items, just save it, copy this, move back to the dashboard, paste it over here, just click on this, select this one and select panel 2, save it, start it to load that user control into the toolbox. Just start and close it. You don't have to do anything. I'm going to stop this, move back to toolbox, and here you can see this UC add item, just drag and drop it over here. Yeah, we have placed this, and we have to connect this with this button. Just double click on this, and what I want to do is we have to just make this one btn, sorry, not btn, qc underscore add items dot visible is equal to true, and uc add dot bring to front. I want this. Okay, so you must be worried about that. I haven't made this UC add item invisible. So why I'm doing this? I'm going to do that right now. When this form loads, I want to hide all the user control except the welcome user control. So just double click on this dashboard load. I'm going to hide that. UC add item dot visible is equal to false. Now start this and let's see if that works or not. Login, click on this. Yeah, this one is working, and we have these cake, thali, soft drink, everything. Yeah, this one is working. So next thing what we have to do is we have to actually code for this add item. So I'm going to do that. Just click on this, just double click on this to generate a click event for this button. Just double click on this, and after this what we have to do is we have to write the query. First thing, we have to create a connection, create object of that function class which we have created. So function fn is equal to new function. After this I'm going to create a variable string type, and I'm going to name this one query. On the button click, I'm going to write a query first. So query is equal to this. So first thing what we have to do is insert into table name. So my table name is items. Let me show you in my database. Move back over here. Here you can see this is items, and let me copy this. These are the names. First column name, that is names, second column name, that is category, and third one is price. So I have copied these. Follow the same sequence, don't try to change these. Move back over here, and after items you have to just put a bracket, and inside this you have to place like this. And after this you have to mention values, and after this what we have to do is we have to just put another bracket, and inside this we have to mention one column, then double, then two plus sign, then double, and then single, because that's why the string type is concatenated with the string. Okay, so in the txt category, first thing is txt name actually. So txt name item name dot text. After this, what we have is we have txt category. So single, double, plus plus, double quotes, single quotes. Txt category dot text. From these are actually the text box name which we have changed earlier. So let me show you that. Txt category, txt name, and this one is txt price. Okay. So price is in big int type. That's why we don't need to actually put double quotes when we are inserting the price. This we have to use double quotes. We don't have to use the single quotes. Plus plus and double quotes. Inside this we have to mention txt price dot text. Just pause the video and write this line. Okay. After this, what we have to do is we have to actually call the method. It is function dot set data, because set data is used to insert the data into the database. So query. And after this, what I want is whenever the insertion is successful, I want to clear all these text boxes. So for that, I'm going to write a method to clear all the text boxes. So public void clear all. I'm going to name this method clear all. Txt category dot selected index is equal to -1. This works in the case of a combo box. And txt item name dot clear txt price dot clear. I want this. Okay, now that error is resolved. What we have to do is we have to, when this button add item is clicked, and after the insertion of these, I want to remove all the data from these text boxes. Okay, so for that I'm going to call this method and now save it. And now let's start this. Let me log in. You can see this when I click on this. Yeah, this works. So Indian is now I have added. So item name Indian is something rice and curry, and price is 90, and add item data process successfully. And when I click on OK, here you can see this all items have been removed. One more thing what I want is whenever I write something and when I leave this user control, then I also want to clear these text boxes. So how to do that? For that, what we have to do is we have to just move back to this user control, add item, click on this, right click and go to properties, select this event, and you have to just click on this leave. Just double click on this. This is generating UC add item leave event, and you have to call the method clear all over here. That's it. Now start this and let's see if this works or not. Login. Yeah, here you can see this. When I click on this place order, we left this user control and all items is clear now. Okay, so this one is working fine. So that's it for this video, guys. In the next video, I'm going to show you how to design for the place order and how to backend code for that. So thanks for watching, and please subscribe and hit the bell icon, and please like this video and share. Thanks for watching.